Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. It's a cool Friday. I hope everybody's having a good day. Let's mute one of these and keep the other one. How's everybody doing? It's a cool Friday today. Very nice, very nice. Once again, we're just kind of hanging out. Don't necessarily have a lot of plans for the stream right now, just kind of having a good time. As always, we'll start ourselves off with what am I drinking? And it's just water today. Just water. Because this is my first glass of anything I've drank today and I haven't finished it yet. So hopefully we can finish that soon. That would be very exciting. If you're stopping in for the first time or watching the VOD, hello. My name is Bryn. We're just doing some chill live streams, just hanging out, having a good time. If you're a VOD watcher, welcome in. If you are a viewer, welcome in. And if it is your first time here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in catching some of these streams live, make sure to press the bell icon when you subscribe so that you can get notifications that I am live. All right. With all that being said, I hope everybody's having a good day today. It's Friday. That's always exciting. I don't know if anybody has any weekend plans. I think I might be doing a little bit of shopping. I might be going out to eat this weekend. That would be exciting. Other than that, I'm just kind of hanging out. I mentioned it yesterday, but I have an internship that I'm prepping for right now. So I had to read a few scientific-based research studies or like reviews in a sense, and I finished that this morning. So that was my moment of productivity, is that I was able to finish that up before stream. I was planning to stream a little bit earlier than this, but because of that, I didn't get around to it. But that's all right, because at least I was productive. And then I finished reading the fan fiction I was reading, which was considerably less productive, but was a much more satisfying. I've talked about it a little before, but I do write a little bit, and I read a little bit of fan fiction specifically. I actually have to post a chapter tomorrow, so I do have some editing to do tonight, but that's all right. I like to try and pre-write a little bit when I write fan fiction, as much as I can, but I'm not usually the best at it. I get a little lazy. I get a little writer's block, and then I get a little lazy, but I'm about 1.5 chapters pre-written, not including, so I have tomorrow's chapter ready to post, and I have about 1 full chapter ready to be edited and half a chapter that I'm still writing. The problem is there's specific parts that I'm interested in writing, and I don't know if other people have this problem too, but there's specific parts of a work that I'm excited to write, and the middle parts for how we get to part I want to write to part I want to write, what comes in between, that's the hard part for me. And so I tend to write the things I enjoy writing and I'm looking forward to writing, which is usually like angst, it's usually like hurt comfort. Sometimes it's specific plot points. I'll write those first and then go back and fill in the rest, which I think is actually how you're supposed to write, but it just means that I dislike the parts that I write in between, and I end up deleting and rewriting a lot because I have issues with how I've written it the first time, or I'll decide, oh, this is how I want the plot point to go instead, and so I'll have to go back and change a bunch of stuff. But that's all right, because I am pre-written to a certain extent where that's okay, where I can do that and it's fine. But yeah, that's probably going to be my night, is going to be working on that newest chapter, which is very exciting for me. I love posting works on AO3. I love the community there is just always so kind. I feel like on other parts of the internet, you can get a lot of hate very easily. It doesn't take much for someone to say something mean on a live stream or on a video or on an Instagram post, but specifically on AO3, I've never had a negative experience. It's always people commenting because they love something or because they were touched by something or because they're worried about you as the author. And I think that's really unique and really special. And that's part of what I think makes posting on AO3 so exciting. This sentiment, I never really posted on Wattpad, but I have looked at Wattpad before because I was 12 once upon a time. And I feel like the people on Wattpad are so rude. And I don't understand why. I mean, I guess Wattpad writers tend to be younger in age, and so their works tend to be less refined, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're worse writers. So who's to say, really? Who's to say? But again, all that being said, I'm chilling. I'm just hanging out. AO3 is my place to be. I know people who are all into fanfiction.net, but I could never get it to work for me. It just never fit with what I wanted to do. And so it just never got integrated. But that's all right, because everybody's experience with this sort of thing is a little bit different. So I hope that everybody is having a good day today. And once again, we're just kind of hanging out today. We're just kind of having a chill time. So I think we're just gonna jump right into the doodling. I started a little bit of a work yesterday, but then didn't make a whole lot of progress. So we're just gonna kind of work on that a little bit. Just a little bit of a calm, chill, little doodle session. So I'm looking at this again, and I do think that he's perhaps a little skinny. So I'm gonna not look at the background and make him a little less skinny. I also feel like I somehow underestimated the amount of back arch he needs, which is ridiculous because I gave him quite the back arch. I gave him quite the back, but I don't think it's entirely correct. So I'm gonna resize a little bit. We are gonna do a little bit of piecemealing together, and then we might start inking this just for funsies. Yeah, I feel like that solves a lot of problems. Just doing that. Because that made it seem like he has a little bit of a sharper angle right here. Right here. And so that I think makes a little bit more sense. It does make me a little bit less inclined to like what I've done with his head, which I liked what I did with his head yesterday. So I don't know what's happened between now and then, but I'm sure we can fix it. Yeah, see, just like that. Just like that. I think that looks so much better. So much better. And now that it's improved a little, we can start working on some of the inking aspects of this. Now, I go between quite a few inking styles. Sometimes I do round lines and dots, and sometimes I do more feathery. I have really been into the lines and dots aspect of things lately, so I think we might try and do that. As always, I won't be shading, or I won't be rather inking the shading marks. They'll just be there for me to reference. So I ink with black and then usually clip over and do color. So that's what we're gonna do this time. And you'll also notice that I've turned down the opacity of the layer in between. And that's just so I can see my dark lines better. I always draw in kind of a purplish first, just so that I can see what I'm doing a little bit better when I go to ink over it. There we go. I believe I forgot to turn on the music before, but that problem should be solved now. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Now, the other problem we had looked at yesterday was the fact that his hand is quite large, this particular hand that I'm inking over now. And so I feel like I should try and make an effort to make it a little smaller because it does look like he's wearing a little bit of a glove. So I'm going to do my best to do that. Yeah, I think that's a lot better. We can add in his knuckles. Just like that. I actually think I'm going to erase that little line right there. Even though I just put it in, I think it'll look a little bit cleaner without it. Yeah, see, there we go. This is still a little sharp. He looks like he could stab somebody with his knuckles, which isn't usually how it goes. So we can change that real quick. Pretty easy. Yeah. Yeah, I just realized what finger proportions that made him have. And I didn't love that, so we can fix that pretty easy. I actually think I'm going to just take care of this whole line here. And that might make it look a little bit smoother for the inking process, since this is a pretty thick line. And instead I can bring this up. And bring that like that, perhaps. So the way I do art is almost entirely trial and error, which I think is probably bad. I don't recommend this method of doing art, but it is what I've just been going with. So I don't do art to sell it or anything. I just kind of doodle for fun if I see something that inspires me. So it's not too deep for me. When I was in IB Art, I poured over my artwork a lot more than I do now, and I was quite a perfectionist with it. But also, I put a lot of thought into what I was drawing and why I was drawing it and how I wanted it to look in the end. And now I don't do that so much, as I just draw for the sake of drawing and make art for the sake of making art. I feel like I can find a better reference picture for his hand. So I'll leave that for now. And I'm talking about the Zonai gadgets he has on his right hand. Also, yes, I did just make that sharper for him, his back. What can I say? I think it looks good. It does make his shoulders look really broad though, but that's okay. See, there we go. Inking is one of my favorite parts because it's a little bit mindless. You just sit there and try and make smooth lines. And then I mentioned it before, but I like to do dots in my inking, and I think it just adds a little bit of extra flavor. And so I'll usually go back through after I've done a little bit and I can get a better sense of how thick the lines are and how much dotting would be helpful. I'll be right back for just a minute. Sorry about that really quick. I'm back. So yes, as I was saying, I like to put in a few dots here and there, just around so that it adds a little bit more depth or a little bit more interest. It doesn't really have a purpose so much as just, it kind of looks pretty. I think it just adds something a little bit interesting, a little bit of visual interest, and it'll blend a little bit into the background when we add some color. It's a Canon event for all artists to go through and do like strict block coloring and shading with black and all that. And I did have that phase, but now I'm kind of in my watercolor on Procreate era. And so that helps. I think it having stark lines like this adds a lot of interest when I do kind of lighter watercolor background or like more wash, because there's more variance in the shading when you do something with like a watercolor or a chalk kind of imprint. And so I think that adding that little variance and that a little bit more with dots and such is an interesting way to add more texture. So that's what I've been doing recently with my artwork, but it does change from time to time what I like to do. I went through a big floral phase, and I still love florals, but I would include them in everything, and I don't do that so much now anymore. Even though I do still think it looks nice when it's done properly, I just don't think I was doing it properly. So this is my issue with Drawing Link, is he has these like fantastic bangs and I never get them perfectly right, and it always upsets me. Like it's quite swoopy of those last two. But we can take care of that pretty easily. Yeah. And see, now that one kind of cuts down a little bit too far, and so I'd like to make it a little flatter. Yeah, just like that. And I do still think that this brush is probably a little bit too big for this particular artwork, but I'm not upset about it, so I'm not going to change it. we go. That's nice. Yeah, just like that. So the fan fiction I was reading was actually for Linked Universe, which I didn't know existed until like a few days ago. Now I'm a little bit hooked. I haven't played quite enough of the games to fully get the impact, but I've been enjoying the typical characterizations that the characters have gotten. Of course, I feel like, especially with something like Linked Universe, where it's not canon so much as fanon, you tend to see a lot of similar tropes. And the similar trope that I see a lot is Wild, who's Breath of the Wild Link, is just hurting all the time. And I love that. I love angst. And so anytime I can get my hands on some really strong angst, I take it. And Linked Universe has been providing for me for the past few days. Unfortunately, a lot of the works for Linked Universe are unfinished, and I'm unsure as to why. I don't know if there was some sort of issue with the person who invented Linked Universe, or if people just tended to fall out of the fandom, because it is a little bit niche. But either way, I'm grateful that they wrote what they did, because a lot of it's very good, and I am a fan. And so I have been indulging in that in the past however long it's been. Maybe a week. But yes, it's almost always Breath of the Wild Link, or just Wild, hurts, and he has bad tendencies. And I think that's so funny. I think it's so cute and so quirky and so funny of him. And I love it. Because then you get the comfort of like the other links from the other universes, because that's what it is. Linked Universe is basically just a mashup of every Legend of Zelda Link, and they travel between each other's worlds, which is just absolutely chaos. It's chaos, and it's usually done in such a way that like is very emotion evoking. I gave him such a strong jaw on the side. Hello. But yeah, it's because I haven't played a lot of the games, I don't know a lot of the like canon characterizations, and so I've just been like deep diving into a lot of the fanon characterizations. That jaw still looks a little weird to me. Like Sky is the mom and Time is the dad and all that, and I think it's really funny. Because I do feel like I'm looking in from the outside a little bit, because I believe it was popular maybe 2018 or 2019. And obviously I'm just finding out about it now, but sometimes that's how it goes. And so I've been enjoying seeing the characterizations that people have made up for these characters and how they kind of transverse through multiple iterations of Linked Universe fanfiction. Especially because, for the most part, there hasn't been a real central plot other than make Wild hurt and make the other characters scared about it. I think it's really funny. It's really funny and really unique to Breath of the Wild. Let's look at his little face while we do this. That wasn't straight, but that was. And if you're popping in for the first time or scrubbing through a VOD, hello, welcome in. Feel free to say hi in the chat or in the comments. And if you're enjoying the stream, please feel free to subscribe so that you can get notifications when I go live, especially if you're watching a VOD and you'd like to catch me live sometime. That is the easiest way to do so. It's not like Twitch where subscribing is following and it's a little confusing. Following, subscribing is totally free to you. Look at how many issues we solved just by moving that eye up just a touch. So many issues. He looks soulless. He looks like Dark Link, actually, like that. That's a little funny. Why did I... Make sure I'm still drawing on the right layer. But yeah, Linked Universe has been my go-to recently, which is, like I tell my friends, I'm like, I'm embarrassed for myself. You don't need to be embarrassed for me. But a lot of people liked it, so I'm not alone. I don't know if anybody else ever wonders this. Like, wonder what happens when fan fiction authors don't finish works. Like, did you just get uninspired? Did you, like, undergo some big life change where, like, you couldn't finish the work and then you never had the opportunity or the desire to do so? Like, especially to authors who start works with, like, excitement and, like, dedication and then just drop off of them. I don't know what happens. His neckline is a lot sharper than mine was, a lot steeper, and I think that was a pretty good attempt. Just freeballing it. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah. I don't tend to do a lot of line variation when I do these kinds of works, because I think that there's something very nice about just like the single length line. Like I was talking about earlier, I used to do a lot more like featheriness and a lot more, how do you say, I actually have the brush, I can just show you. I don't remember where it is. Like this, where it's like the sharper, like feathery kind of look. And I still like doing that. I've just been really into the consistent, like, appearance lately. Is this the same brush I was using? Yes, it is. Perfect. And I've never claimed my art to be the best or to have the secrets of the universe to making it. I just do what I enjoy. And I don't usually post the works anywhere. I don't sell commissions. And so artwork is really just a medium for me to enjoy myself, which I think is really nice. I think it's good to have something where you're doing it just for you, just for the enjoyment of the action. Now, I'm doing a lot more blockiness than was in the original. But I didn't want to make a replica copy, and so I think that this is a good compromise in terms of drawing it in my style. And obviously his eyes look a little dead right now, but it'll improve. It'll improve when we add highlights. Highlights are the best thing known to man. They're just little sparkles. It's like what we put on the stream starting soon screen. Right here, where you can see the little sparkles. if you put them in the eyes of the characters you're drawing, they like come to life, and I think it's adorable. Let's see. I have a conspiracy theory that 2 to 2:30 is the time when everybody emails you. Because I get 1,000 emails from 2 to 2:30. And it's incredibly frustrating because that's the time when I've been streaming. There. I like it. I don't like the last one, ironically enough, but I like all the others. Now that might be too thin. It is. There we go. That's super cute. That's super cute. Okay. See? It's all working out. Now, I started asking the question yesterday, and we never really figured out an answer, but I wonder why it seems like he has so much texture on the tunic here in the image. And on the other side, it seems, I guess he has that texture a little bit, but it seems so much flatter. And so I'm not really sure how I'd like to go about that. I might just take out that texture because I think it can be a little bit weird from this angle. Can easily be misconstrued, perhaps. And I do feel like I need to go in and do the inside so that I can cut the shoulder a little bit shorter or the arm behind a little bit shorter than I had done in the sketch. Interesting concepts and theories. Yeah. All right, well, we can just... Nope. Actually, that's not the worst. Artists be like, draw one line. That's not the worst line I've ever done. Is it terrible of me to say I kind of like that? Yeah, and then I can push back out. I don't actually think I'm going to draw on the Zonai Charge type beat, just because I feel like it looks like fingers from that angle, and I don't want them to. There we go. There we go. Look at that. I'm relatively happy with that. I think I'm going to make this line a little bit flatter, but other than that, I'm relatively happy with that. Yeah, there we go. We can go back up here and add little dots. I actually think I'm going to shorten it and then add dots, just to give it a little bit of flavor. We can add some dots here as well, just to fill in the space a little bit more and yeah, just give it a little bit more texture. Look at that. That's great. Now, if you're wondering what I'll be using this artwork for, the answer is absolutely nothing. I only draw for fun, and so the artworks just kind of get made and then nothing happens to them. That's okay. Artwork doesn't always need to be about producing a product and what that product will do and what it can do for you. It can just be about having a good time and hanging out. we go. Now, as always, if anybody has any questions about IB, feel free to put those in the chat and I'm totally willing to answer those. But aside from that, if you just want to pop in, say hello, also feel free. The comment section will be open on this video after the VOD is posted. And I do read all the comments that I receive, which is very exciting, even though I might not reply to all of them because not all of them are nice or like warranting a reply. I did get one comment once and I feel like, okay, we can talk about comments and like, whoa, that's the most uneven thing I've ever drawn. Let's talk about like comments and hate on the internet a little bit because hate's a little weird. Like we talked about on AO3, it's a little different. The hate's not really as pronounced, and I think that's true. Because generally people don't like something, they are either humorous enough to laugh at it or smart enough to just not engage with it, which I think is a responsible mindset to have. However, on YouTube, I think that the comments seem more removed because, well, it's hard to say why. You'd think actually that in a work where the author leaves maybe behind 2 notes per chapter, and that's all you ever really see of the author, that they would be more removed and people would feel more inclined to leave unkind comments. However, I feel that on YouTube videos, you receive more unkind comments than on AO3, which is pretty unusual, I'd say, since like YouTube, you can see the person's face and the comments are basically a conversation to them. I don't know if it's just because YouTubers tend to reply to less of their comments than AO3 authors or what the deal is, but I think that there's just generally more hate on YouTube. And I think that hate, I think that the comments that you get on YouTube are often less taken than the ones on AO3. Like when someone leaves me a comment on YouTube, it has to be really good or really bad for me to like think about it after the fact. But on AO3, it feels as though almost every comment I get, I'm poring over. And so I don't know if that's a me thing or a difference between the platforms. It's just an interesting thing that I've noticed. So I don't know if anybody else has ever felt the same way, but yeah, it's a pretty unusual, like interesting thing to figure out. There we go. I feel as though this cuts a little short right here, but that's okay. Yeah, okay. The long lines are so difficult for me to get them smooth all the way down, but I think that was pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah. Great. Awesome. I'm happy with that. Also, I talked yesterday about how I I haven't been able to hear the music playing on my stream, and I did not do anything to mitigate that problem. So that problem persists. That's not gone away. But that's all right. It just means that you're getting an ultra special experience where I don't know if the audio sounds okay. So if it doesn't, either put it in the chat if you're watching live, or if you are watching the VOD, sorry, not a lot you can do about that. Let's just take a look at it without the backing for a minute. I'm quite happy with that. I feel like it's inked pretty well. I'm still a little wary on this hand. I feel like I'm gonna go back and change it up again. But other than that, I feel like it's looking pretty good. Move the dot a little closer. Could I have just erased the dot and redrawn it? Yes. Is that what I did? No. No, that's not what happened. Lovely. So he has a lot of patterns on this halberd, and I don't know how I want to go about doing them, because I feel like if I did all of them individually, it would kind of distract a little bit. And so that's kind of my current issue that I'm having. We were questioning yesterday if I was going to do the quiver and the bow and the sword or shield that he's carrying, and I think I'm not. I just think it's going to overcomplicate some things, and I don't know that it would add as much to the picture as it would distract from it. So I think leaving it like this is what we're gonna roll with in terms of that. Those large swooping lines are difficult. Let's look at that. I feel like that second one might be a little chunky. She's a little chunky. We can fix that. Just bring that inner line in. There we go. There we go. A lot of doing a digital art on Procreate, I think, is learning how to use the tools that you have at your disposal. It can be quite difficult, I think, to master the tools. And not that I've mastered them, but I do think I have a decent handle on like what things in the toolbox Procreate provides. And I don't think I use them to the fullest, but I feel like I understand them to a certain extent. And that I think is very helpful in creating art on Procreate. Now my second issue is I wish that she was a little skinnier at the top, so we can fix that pretty easy. I didn't want to do this for the last one because we've established I don't like doing large sweeping lines, and for the last one that would have meant redoing that large sweeping line. which makes me a little nervous. So that's not what we did. Also, if you're looking at this blip over here or over here, I am too. It becomes a lot less obvious when you zoom out that they exist, but if it bothers you, don't worry, it bothers me as well. There we go, cute. I'm actually gonna have to continue that line up because I cut it so much tighter than in the original picture with his back. His back's like here in the original picture, but that was not curvy enough for us. Tiny waist, tiny waist. So I don't have a streaming schedule as of yet. I'm still trying to figure out how often I want to stream or like what days, because I think that I'm going to have a lot more competition on the weekends and I don't want to deal with that. Second of all, I don't want to stream on the weekends, so I probably will not. But on the weekdays, I think most weekdays from 1 or 2 until whenever I end. And not every weekday, and I don't have a schedule for that yet, so I'm sorry if you're looking for a schedule. We're just kind of playing it by ear for now. Yesterday we had a really good stream. A lot of people came in and said hello, so that was exciting. But not every stream is going to be like that. And I'm aware of that. But that just means for now, I don't know what my streaming schedule is going to be or what days are going to work best. Sorry, if that rustled the mic, I apologize. I forget sometimes that my headphones are also my mic. Because the headphones don't have the added benefit of doing anything except the mic, because I can't hear music, and I worry that if I played my own music, I would get distracted by the music and stop talking. And so the benefit of not being able to hear the music that I'm playing for you is that it doesn't distract me from talking, which I understand is going to happen, especially as a new streamer, but I think working to mitigate that as much as possible is probably best. That looks pretty good to me, doing the pants that way. In the game, they look like almost wraps of pants instead of real pants. And so I think that doing it like this kind of gives a similar effect to in the game. There we go. I cut that one a little close, but that's okay. We can leave it. It's not going to hurt anybody. I do think I need to do one over here on this side, at least. So I watched the VOD yesterday of when Doug did the I'll have what he's having fast food challenge. Oh my gosh, it had me rolling. I love Point Crow, and so seeing him in that was really funny, especially because I get the impression that Abby dragged him there. And just watching in general, the movement from the beginning to the end as Doug kept claiming that he was going to be able to eat so much fried chicken when they got to KFC, and then ultimately having exactly none of the fried chicken at KFC and instead drinking gravy that everybody told him not to drink. Was just a really good character arc, to be honest. It was really a banger of a stream that I hope gets edited into a video, because I feel like the editing for that video could be so funny, because there's so much stuff that I feel like they would be able to punch up. Hi Shintaro, hello, how are you doing today? I'm doing well, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Are you from Japan, or are you just a fan of Japanese things? But yeah, I've been watching a lot of VODs recently. And I've been catching a lot of streams live as well. I've been doing a little bit better about that. Now I feel like he needs one up here. That's fine. There, okay. So I still haven't solved the problem of how I want to do his Talbard. Because I don't want to do too much detail. Thank you, that's great to hear that you're doing good. I'm doing good, thanks for asking. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I take it that perhaps you're from Japan, rather than just a fan. So in that case, こんにちは、はじめまして。私の名前はブンです。よろしくお願いします。You just like Japanese stuff? Yeah. My majors in school are neuroscience and Japanese, so I'm always itching to practice my Japanese. What kind of Japanese stuff do you like? Anime or manga or games? I guess I could do some of the more detail type stuff with the Talbard. I just don't want to do too much because I think it'll take away. Of course, my pleasure. I'm loving it here so far. You are very nice. Thank you. I'm glad you're having a good time. We're just hanging out. It's a little bit of a Friday hangout session. We did a little doodle yesterday, and now we're inking it with the hope of adding some detail and then eventually some color. Anime, manga, games. I want to learn Japanese one day. Yeah. I mean, I totally recommend it. It's been really fun to learn Japanese at my university. So if you can find a school that teaches Japanese, I recommend. You're welcome, yeah. I am also a fan of anime and manga. Actually, my webcam right now is being propped up with some manga because I don't have a real webcam or a real stand for it. Your Japanese is very nice. Thank you. It's definitely still a work in progress, but I've been very fortunate to have a lot of people on my side helping me learn, both people and friends from Japan and my teachers as well. I liked and subscribed. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. Oh, awesome. Yeah. It's been really good to learn Japanese at my school. It's very intense though, because at my school, it's almost it isn't almost every single day. It's every single weekday. You go in and you just talk in Japanese in a class, and it's a little bit stressful, but it's been a good learning experience. No problem. I'm going to try and learn Japanese. I totally recommend it. I don't necessarily recommend using Duolingo because that's how I started, and I don't think it got me very far. I think Duolingo has a good program for learning the hiragana and katakana though. You're more than welcome. It's so appreciated. Yeah. So do you know Zelda? Because that's kind of what this drawing is based off of, is Tears of the Kingdom. I feel like I'm gonna go back in. Okay, I will try to learn Japanese. I think it is a great language to learn. It's been a lot of fun, and you get a lot of practice because you can play games and watch TV in Japanese. And so it's been a really easy language to get listening practice and reading practice for. I have no idea what's going on with this symbol. I don't know how I'm going to manage to try and do that. So perhaps we leave that one to the end. I love Legend of Zelda, one of my favorite video game franchises ever. Me too. Have you played Tears of the Kingdom yet? Or are you holding off? Okay. I was so excited for Tears of the Kingdom. I was like stalking the Nintendo Directs. I love drawing. I want to make my own manga one day. That would be so exciting. I do not have the guts to make my own manga. I do have, not that, this. I do have, if I can find it, screen tones that I've used in other artworks that lay on just like screen tones in real life. I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom yet. Is it good? I hope you liked it. Or did you like it? Yeah, it's actually been better than Breath of the Wild, if you can believe it. And I was a big Breath of the Wild person. And Tears of the Kingdom came along and just caught me. It has been such an obsession. I think the story has been like excellent. And I think that the gameplay has improved from Breath of the Wild, and they've added so many elements of exploration. And I think that's one of the things that Breath of the Wild did so well, was the exploration aspect. I kind of suck at drawing though. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, me too. I just draw for fun, and I think that's as much as I'm ever gonna get. But I still enjoy drawing, and so it's been a good time. Oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah, if you have the funding or the time to get into Tears of the Kingdom, I highly recommend it. It's been a real joy. A lot of tears were shed. I accidentally broke my Switch, so I can't play Tears of the Kingdom yet. Oh my gosh, what did you do? I've never broken my Switch, but I have replaced it actually for the Tears of the Kingdom Switch as an upgrade. It was a gift. But yeah, I basically stalked Nintendo for when those Directs came out. I was a little bit of a crazy person. I definitely cried at the trailers. I like how I said I wasn't going to add too much detail, and now I'm adding too much detail. I dropped it on the ground. I might buy a new one. Oh no. Yeah, I carry my Switch in a very, very hard case, so that hopefully if I drop this, it survives. I had kids in my classes bring their Switch to class and play, and that scares me. I would be so worried something would happen to it. I am very fortunate that I have not broken my Switch. I am just like hyper careful with it. I did once take it to a meeting for my friends. They had a card club meeting that they wanted me to go to, but I didn't want to play any of the card games, so I played Zelda. I think that describes me pretty well, is that I just brought it to the student union and started playing Zelda. But it was funny though, because people were interested in the game who hadn't played it before. It's not my fault I don't know how to play Mahjong. That was not straight. Wow, yeah, yeah. I can't believe I replicated that shape on the other side. That was really impressive. I usually can't do things on both sides. But yeah, recently, Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Breath of the Wild has been a little bit of a long-time obsession for me, and so Tears of the Kingdom has been a long-term obsession from when they announced the trailers. You're so nice. Thank you so much. I would cry at the teasers and the trailers, and I would cry at the game, and I don't cry a lot, and so it was very cathartic of a game for me to play. I appreciate you hanging out. I'm glad you're having a good time in the stream. We're just having a good chill time here today. It's a nice Friday, and so it's a little bit of a quiet stream. Oh. You're more than welcome. It's appreciated. Oh. Oh, I can't believe I replicated it on the other side again. Well, it's a little different, but that's okay. They can be sisters and not twins. Now I don't need to replicate it on the other side. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna carve out a little bit more space inside of these, but other than that, pretty happy with how those have turned out. Especially considering I didn't know how to approach them. I always had class right after the teasers for Tears of the Kingdom would drop, or the trailers rather. And so I would always watch the trailer and then have to go to class right after, and it was torture because all I wanted to do was talk about the trailer to my friends. But I had to go to class and be a responsible adult. Luckily, some people in that class that I always had right after also liked Zelda and liked Tears of the Kingdom, so we were able to talk about the trailers together. And that's a pretty fun memory for me. Damn, yeah, yeah. A little bit tragic. Look at that. Oh, and he has drawings on his sleeve. Oh, do I do the drawings on his sleeve? If I do the drawings on that sleeve, I also have to like put in an effort on this sleeve, and that seems a little bit more difficult. And he has someone like, I did not look at this artwork enough for me to see all these details, which was probably a good thing, because the less I think about something before I try and start it, the less I think about it in general. Oh, cool. Yeah. I think it's been turning out pretty good. He looks a little dead inside, but that's just because we haven't done his eyes properly yet. So just don't worry about the fact that he looks like he has been taken over by a ghost or something. Bryn, thank you for being so nice. It's so rare to find such nice people. That you're so complimentary. I appreciate you coming in and hanging out with me today. No, that's not actually the worst thing I've ever done. I'm just gonna make these shapes up, TBH. What if I did my own thing? What if I erase this dot? There we go. My favorite thing that they've added in Tears of the Kingdom, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think that from what I expected the story to be to what the story actually was very different, and I appreciated that. I love the music in the background. Thank you. I don't own the rights to the music, but I also am a fan. I love what they did with the story in Tears of the Kingdom, because based on what I thought it would be from the trailers, I was worried that I would be a little bit upset by the story, or that they might not add enough for me to be interested by it. But that wasn't the case at all. I actually ended up, I actually ended up being really, really intrigued by the story. No problem. Yeah. I was very intrigued by the story. And so I was very pleasantly surprised because I was concerned that it was gonna be too much of a damsel in distress type of game, and it wasn't that at all. So that was very exciting. An attempt was made. An attempt was made, an attempt was moderately successful. I'm fine with that. I like how I said I'm not going to add detail, and then now I'm adding detail. That's fine. I'm happy you enjoyed Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, thank you. I hope that you're able to get your Switch fixed or buy a new one soon so that you can enjoy it as well. The other Zelda games I've played are Wind Waker, and I've watched gameplay of Skyward Sword, but I haven't had the opportunity to buy Skyward Sword yet because it's a little bit expensive. And so I haven't bought and played Skyward Sword, but I have watched gameplay of it, and it was really good. I really liked the characters. I also like the lore that Skyward Sword added to Zelda. I will try to get a new one Nintendo Switch. I hope you are able to, because it was such a fun game to play, especially if you are a Breath of the Wild fan. There. Now he has some detail down there as well. But yeah, Skyward Sword, I haven't had the opportunity to engage with Ocarina of Time, and I feel like I want to. I just don't know how, because I'm not a big fan of emulating games, and so I'd want to try and play it on a real console, and I don't know how I would be able to do that in this era of gaming. But I'd like to try and figure it out because I've heard Ocarina of Time is a really great game. Same, I want to play Ocarina of Time. Yeah. Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess are probably my two most desired games to play. I have Link's Awakening, but I haven't had the opportunity to play all the way through yet. And so that's probably what I'll end up doing next. But then, I don't know. But I have been... Yeah, same. I want to play Twilight Princess too. I've heard it's really good. I've heard Twilight Princess is really good, and I've heard Ocarina of Time is really good. And so those are the two that I want to play the most. At some point, I feel like I need to go through and play the original games, but I don't know, again, how I would be able to do that without emulating, which is a little bit sad. I have a Wii U, which is how I was able to play Wind Waker. But I don't know that it still works. Because it's been a long time since the Wii U happened. The Wii U was kind of a fever dream. Let's be honest, the Wii U was a weird time to be alive. Like, the fact that it existed at all, crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. There. There we go. I think that's a pretty good job inking. So then the next part is laying down the color, and laying down the color is also kind of the scariest part. But it's nothing a little bit of clear layer can't fix. Agreed, yeah. I love it. Thank you. I am a fan as well of how it's turning out so far. So this is going to be needing to be a much smaller brush, or maybe it didn't actually. It's not hurting anybody being this size. One of the things that I've been enjoying about doing the watercolors on Procreate lately is that, it actually needs to be bigger. They add a lot of texture to the artwork that I think normally gets missed. And so I feel like I can have those chunky black inking lines and it doesn't look too bad because the watercolor adds a lot of texture to it. You're welcome. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, watercolor's hard. I have another work that I did with watercolor in this one. It's this. And I'm really happy with this one. I just need to remember how I did it. But I like this one, and I added the light. I love your YouTube profile picture. Thank you. I did not make it. I feel like I have to change it soon because I feel like I am doing a bad thing because I didn't make it myself. Have you watched Violet Evergarden, which is the show it's from? I love Violet Evergarden, obviously. I went and saw the movie in theaters when it came out, and that was very exciting. I cried at that as well. I cried at Violet Evergarden too. I don't cry very much, actually. I've never heard of that. I will check it out. It is an awesome anime. I think it's great for a lot of types of people, whether you like kind of action adventure or more like, I like more shoujo usually, and I enjoyed this. So it's not super Shonen Jump, but it's got enough action and like excitement that I think it's still interesting. I think it hits a lot of demographics of people. And yet a lot of people are wary to check it out because it seems a little unapproachable. The basic premise is like, there's this girl who has been told her whole life that she needs to be like a doll and that she needs to be a war doll, basically. And the war ends and she needs to figure out what she's going to do with the rest of her life, all while she's mourning her captain or the only person who ever treated her as anything more than a war doll. And so it's got a lot of really nice implications, and it's a lot about like learning what it means to find love or to be loved. Bryn, I liked and subscribed on my other YouTube account. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. It is very much appreciated. Clean up my lines here. Let's see, what about... Okay. Okay, sounds interesting. Yeah, I think it's got a lot of like, there's still a lot of elements of the war and so there's still a lot of fighting, but it's not too much fighting. Another big part of it that I was very intrigued by and that I like that they dove into is the fact that she is a double amputee. She lost both of her arms. And so it kind of goes into her learning to use those arms to her advantage as well. And I think it puts a really nice spin on disability. As someone who technically has one, I was very pleasantly surprised. And so I think it's a great show that I definitely recommend. You're way too underrated. Thank you. That's very kind. I'm pretty new and I'm just hanging out, so. Damn, that's sad. It's sad, but at the same time, this show handles it in a way that doesn't make it seem like it's a sob story, which I think is a really good thing to do, and a really good way to approach it in terms of a way to approach disability and loss. I think the show does a really good job of diving into both topics and giving them space to breathe and like exist. I don't know, it just does a really good job with that, and that's one of the things that I love about the show. Is that it touches on those topics in a way that's really honest and I don't know, really true to the human experience. So I definitely recommend. I will check out that anime. I hope you do. Please let me know if you check it out and what you think of it. It's definitely one of my favorites. I don't know if you like more shoujo or shonen type stuff. I tend to lean towards the shoujo rather than the shonen, especially not Shonen Jump. And so some of my other favorites are things like Fruits Basket, Orange, Horimiya. I also like more BL type stuff, so Given and some of the Chinese works in that category, that genre as well. All right, I will check it out. Yeah. Please do. There we go. So this color looks a lot more red, I think, when it has the darker colors around it. So I have a feeling it will mellow itself out as time goes on and stop looking quite so brown. Mickey, yo, how are you today? The drawing is progressing nicely, I see. Hey, welcome back, Mickey. Yeah, I did some inking. I'm really happy with how it's looking so far. Thanks for stopping back in today. Bryn, all right, I'm gonna watch that anime and I will tell you if I enjoy it. Please do. I look forward to hearing what you think. The problem is on the other side, I had a point where I could separate my strokes and it didn't create that like line that I don't like. I don't have that on this side. I was just talking about how this color looks quite brown right now, and so I think it'll even itself out, hopefully. I'm actually gonna not do that until I've done more of the shading. Hello to you too. Yeah. It's great to see you stopping back in today, Minky. How are you today? Have any fun plans for the weekend? I don't. Well, I might go shopping. That'll be fun. That looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I need to decide if I'm going to color block. We'll do the dark parts and we'll ignore the problem at hand and do the parts that don't matter so much. Doing good, been playing WoW all day, basically. World of Warcraft. No real interesting plans. Well, you're going to play more games, I'm sure, and that's pretty interesting. That'll be exciting. This looks so green to me. Am I crazy? I mean, I pulled it right from the thing, so it is the right color. It just looks quite green. I'm actually just gonna free ball. Ever played? I have not. I have not. I definitely am more of like the sandbox, like chill type of games. World of Warcraft, not gonna lie, it scares me a little. It's a little bit intimidating, but it's nice to hear that you enjoy it. Okay, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna struggle with this shading a little bit. I was just showing off one of the other watercolor works I've done is not in this folder, despite me continually checking to see if it's in this folder. It's this one. And I really like how I was able to do the dark and the light aspects in the watercolor. So I want to try and continue using that skill for the work that I'm doing now. The new expansion is so good. The dragon riding is so much fun and you never get tired of it. Yeah, I love that. Thank you. This one definitely has some darker colors than the other work, but that's just a little bit more of a challenge. That one, the other one was more of a creative work in that it was using reference photos and more of like from my own mind, whereas this is just inspired from this one photo, which is totally fine. It's just a little bit of a different way of doing things. Yes, I just deleted all that watercolor that I just did. Oh, struggling. Agrita looks very nice. Thank you. I'm struggling here. Okay, I just want to get a flat layer done. If I can get a flat layer done right here, I'll be happy. Because it's fighting me a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. Okay, that's fine. I can deal. We can all deal. It's gonna be fine. Oh, we're chilling. Love darker color themes. Can't really explain why, but there's something about it. Really? I'm so much more of a like bright, fresh colored person. It's almost a little bit difficult for me to imagine colors in color schemes being dark. There's just so much more color theory that goes into it. I also am very much the type of person to like bright color overlays on top of artworks. And so it's definitely more of a challenge for me to do something with a darker like color tone. No problem, anytime, my pleasure. Thank you. I'm just not as good with color theory as I think some other people are, and so it's a little bit more of a challenge for me to do something like this where there's a lot more color theory involved. Not that I'm really doing any color theory because I am just color picking from the reference image, but there's still some involved, there's still some thinking. Yeah, I've done some works with more screen tone type stuff. I've done some works with more flat color tone type stuff. But recently, I've really been into doing the watercolor toned type things because I like the texture that it adds to works and I like the gradients that you're able to get. I like looking at good drawings and people with real drawing skill, but I draw like a first grader myself, unfortunately. How about you? I agree. I love when drawings have a lot of shading. Yeah. Really intense shading is something that I think is really hard to master. It's not something I'm great at, but when people are able to add a lot of depth in their work by doing a lot of shading, I think it really stands out and it's really a show of skill. We're not going to be able to accomplish the same level of dark that they have in the reference photo, I think. Cool, you will get better at drawing. I kind of suck at drawing. Very true, when the shading is top tier, you almost don't need color. Yes! It's something that's like really a show of talent, I think, when someone is able to do a lot of really heavy shading and really a lot of depth work. It's really cool to look at. I think that there's a lot of things that make artwork, like different people's artworks, unique. And so I love looking at artwork also, just because I think that people are so creative and it's so interesting. It's mind-boggling, to be honest. It really is. It really is. It's so incredible. And especially when I had an art teacher once who was able to do light streaming through leaves and do like the light patterns on the skin of a person as it streamed through the leaves. And I was very impressed. It's so cool. I think when people are able to work with light and shadow in a lot of interesting ways, I think that it like adds so much to an artwork. It adds so much to a drawing. Can I show you too one of my drawings on my profile picture? Yeah, we can see your profile picture. You want to tell us about your drawing? The more I layer up, the darker it gets. That's the benefit of doing this way. Go for it. And then Shintaro said, thank you. Yeah. This is just going to be a lot of building up layers, unfortunately. But I am able to get kind of that cool gradient back that I adore so much. So that's good. Not a total loss of time. It's just taking a while, which is, I guess, expected. It's a picture I did of Goku. Let me check on my browser. Oh wow, that's very nice. I like the way that you've done the lines. I think it's very well done. I have to like navigate back and forth. Yeah, I really like it. I think that I don't know, I love looking at artwork. It's so good. That's like one of the exciting things about like getting into fandom, I think, is people are just so talented. And so it's very nice to be able to appreciate people's talents. I was just starting to draw. Yeah. I think that, I don't know, it's so exciting to be at the beginning of like a journey. Especially one like drawing where it's kind of a very long lasting journey. That doesn't look like the worst thing I've ever done. Yeah. I don't know. I think there's a lot of nice contrast that comes with the watercolor. I just haven't mastered it yet. I took a little break from drawing. Yeah, I take breaks from drawing as well. I definitely am not very consistent with it. Since I'm only doing it ever for like my own personal enjoyment, I don't put as much time into it as perhaps I would like to, especially during the school year. I have a lot less time to dedicate to it. Yeah, same. Yeah. It's frustrating because I feel like I lose time to do a lot of the things I love during the school year. So I'm hoping that by continuing to stream, I'll be able to afford myself time to just kind of do the things that I want to do while also feeling like I'm being productive while doing it. I think that I want this channel to be a space where people can come and hang out and do the things that they want to do as well, and just kind of chill and all just spend a little bit of time together, if that makes sense. So that's kind of my like goals for the vibe. Obviously, I won't be able to stream all the time. Sometimes I'm going to have OChem tests, and I don't think anybody wants to watch a stream of me studying for OChem, but, you know, such is life. But for now, this channel can just be super chill. The chill vibes is def here already. I enjoy hanging out. Thank you. I'm glad you are enjoying the space, enjoying the hangout qualities that I've tried to create. Yeah, see, this looks a lot more red now that it's up against the like gray. That's really solved that problem that I kind of created for myself. So I'm moving into an apartment with my friends for the upcoming school year. And I'm really trying to convince my friends to let us get a cat, but it's not going well. It's not going well, and I'd really like to get a cat for this apartment, but my friends don't live anywhere near where we go to school. And so we don't know who would take the cat at the end of the school year. And so I don't know that we're going to be able to get a cat. But that would be like the best, is if we could get a cat for my apartment. I wish. That's like the dream, you know? I love how the dream is just having a cat. But hey, small goals, small expectations. I just want a cat. Agreed, I love it here. Yeah. I'm so glad. Oh, almost a bit freaky. I leave to let my cat inside and come back and you talk about cats. Oh, I guess I had a little bit of a psychic moment. Yeah, I just want a cat. I mean, I have cats at my parents' house, but I'd really like a cat for our apartment. This is a drawing I made of the fox devil. Hold on, let me open up your channel. Wow, I really like that. Again, I think you're very good at adding lines and emphasis. Yeah, the cat thing is pretty funny. I just want a cat. It's on my mind. My friend said that if I wanted to have a cat, I had to learn how to birth it myself. And I said I could figure that out. But again, I don't know who would take the cat in the summer, so. What's its name and its color? So I have 3 cats. The girl's name, she's the youngest, she's my baby, is Pixie, and she's a Tabico cat. So she's a calico with tabby stripes. And we have another cat. He's a guy, or he's a boy. He's a little bit older than Pixie, but not by much. And his name is Pepe, and he's all black. And he's super cute as well. And then we have the oldest one is also a boy named Toby. And Toby is a really fat tabby cat. He is obese. We love him anyways. I don't know why he's obese and the others aren't obese, but what are you gonna do? But yes, they are my children. And then I also have my own fish that I got for my birthday. And my fish's name is Sheena, and he is a blue betta fish. Freaking love cats. They sound adorable. They are my children, and I love them dearly, and leaving them is the hardest thing I ever do. I like the names for your cats. They're cute. Thank you. Yeah, it was a family naming event, so we all helped pick them out. They're getting old now. I still call them my babies and kittens, but the younger 2 are just about 9 years now, which is crazy. The older one, we don't even know how old. Just, he's an old man. He's a little geriatric cat. You're welcome. Thank you. I love my little geriatric cat. My boy is all black. His name is Echo. That's so cute. Oh my gosh. I bet he is all about you. Ooh. I feel like you can see me jump when I do things that I don't intend to do, like erase part of the actual drawing. I have a puppy. You have a puppy. What's the puppy's name? And the color. I'm not good with dog breeds, but I know colors. I can know colors at least. So dramatic. So dramatic. So dramatic. His name is Koro Sensei and he's brown. Oh, that's so cute. How old is he or how long have you had him? In winter, very much a lap cat, but it's summer now, so he's outside for the majority of the day and comes inside a few times to demand food. Oh, we don't let our cats outside because we live in kind of a foresty area, I guess, and so there's always a threat of like wildlife. But my cats still try and demand to go outside, and they definitely let us know about those demands. Our cats prefer the men in the family. So I have a brother, and they definitely love my brother, and they love my dad, but they don't mess with me as much. The girl cat is not much of a lap cat. She is her own princess. She is a princess, and she does what she wants. Thank you. Koro Sensei is 2 months old, and I have had him for 2 months. Oh, that's so cute. So he's like a baby then. I love babies. I love baby cats, baby puppies. I also want a ferret, but I don't think the ferret dream is going to happen anytime soon. Ferrets are like my life goal, and I don't think it's going to be like achieved anytime in college. Yeah, he is a baby. Yeah, he sounds like it. I don't go outside enough to have a dog. I don't walk outside enough. And so the dog would just not be taken outside. And that's not a very good life for a dog. You're so lucky, Shintaro. Love puppies at that age. They're so cute at that age. They're so crazy, though. Like, that's the fear, right? Is like, they've got so much energy. I don't have that much energy. Yeah, feel free. I don't have enough energy to have a puppy, I think. I say that, but I also want ferrets, and I also do not have enough energy to have ferrets, and I want them anyways. I love ferrets. Ferrets are like my life goal. Cats are like also my life goal, though. Like, I love them both. I would want both. And my betta fish. I love my betta fish. He's a little bit silly. I love puppies, yeah. My betta fish, when I was still in high school, he would sit right there. He'd sit right there on the desk, and he would hang out with me while I studied and recorded videos. But now, because I needed my family to take care of him because I couldn't take him to my university, he lives upstairs, and so he doesn't live on my desk now, which is sad. I really want a dog, but I can't in good conscience get one before I have a stable enough life. I want to have a family so he's never home alone for long enough. Yeah, I think that makes sense. That's like the goal, right? Is like to make sure that you are adopting animals at a time when it's best that you can take care of them. I think that was part of the issue with my betta fish for me, is that I got him right before I left for college, about a year before I left for college. And so when I left, my family had to take care of him, and I felt bad leaving him behind, but I couldn't take him because they didn't allow pets at my dorm. Bryn, thank you. Be right back. I'm going to take a photo of him. Yeah, take your time. But 100%, yeah. I think there's a balance between wanting animals and knowing I'm not in a position right now to adopt animals. And unfortunately, I'm kind of there with both ferrets and cats. And apparently fish, but I can find a solution for the fish. The problem is I still don't think I'd be able to take the fish to my university. I really want a ball python, but only when I get a better job. Any animal I have will have the best life possible. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. Like my betta fish, he's gonna live a life in a tank no matter what, no matter if I can afford the top tier quality food or not. I mean, is there really a top tier quality food for betta fish? Like, let's be honest, not really. And so my betta fish has a perfectly good life, but if I were to adopt any other animal, I feel like I would wait until I knew that I could give them the life that I want them to have, the life that I feel like they deserve. And that's the problem, is that that's not going to happen anytime soon for me. Think fish are fine with whatever is the cheapest. Yeah, he's not too picky. I love him. He is my baby, he is my love, and I would do anything for him. He swims up to the top of the tank when I go to feed him, but only when it's me feeding him. If I'm up there standing to feed him, so he'll swim to the top of the tank to get the food. As long as their tank is big enough for a comfortable life. I believe we literally asked the store attendant, what is the smallest tank that they will still be happy in? And that's what we got, because I don't have a lot of space. But my baby deserves happiness. That's so cute. Yeah, I love him. He's like, I don't know, he's adorable. I love that he swims up to the top of the tank. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's like the one trick I taught him, and I didn't even teach him. He just started doing it on his own. But he would always hang out with me when I would study for international baccalaureate stuff. And so it was like weird to study and not have him with me in college. But I couldn't take him, so what was I to do? But yeah, my cats are my, like, children. My fish is my child. Also, I have no children. I do not have any biological human child. I feel like a lot of people can underestimate how damn cute fish can be. They have personalities of their own and can be such goofballs. He is. I love him. He gets like the zoomies in his tank, and it's the cutest thing. He would like swim up and swim down and swim up and swim down. I'm like, buddy, you have a whole tank. You could swim in circles if you really wanted. He's like, no, I'll just swim up and swim down. I'm like, all right. I catch it. He loves hiding behind his filter. And I bought him like actual fish toys to like hide in and like play with or whatever, like interact with. But no, he just wants to hide behind the filter. I'm like, all right, man, I gave you a good as life as possible, and this is what you wanted, so no one can say I didn't try. He does have, like, some foliage that he likes to hang out in, and he has, like, a little rock that he can hide in. That's adorable. I love him. But he just likes to hide behind his filter. And you know what? Who am I to stop him from the things he loves? Who am I to stop my fish from doing the things he loves in his life? Not me. Not me. But he's adorable, and I love him. And he's a fish, and I love him. I want to add another layer to this one. Oh, you have a fish? That's nice. Yeah, we've been talking about my fish. I love him. This is a photo of Koro-sensei. He's so cute. Okay. Let me look at Koro-sensei. Oh, he's so fuzzy. He's so fuzzy. I love him. Very cute. Bro, that's the same vibes I get from buying Echo a comfy as heck bed, and then he just never touches it. I know. My cats didn't touch their bed, the beds we bought them for years, and now they like them. But generally, my cats like to lay on stuffed animals or in baskets from Target, or like, basically, if we didn't buy it for them, it's for them. I'm like, dude, really? I bought that for me. I needed that, not you. They like to go in suitcases if we're about to like leave for vacation. They're quirky. Koro-sensei is very energetic. I have to chase him. I have to chase after him a lot because he likes to run around the house. Oh no. Yeah, I don't have enough energy for a puppy. I am a little bit low energy for a puppy. But a cat I could handle. And ferrets are my true love. I could do anything for ferrets. I love ferrets. I wish I could have a ferret. But we can't even agree to get a cat, so I don't think I'm getting a ferret anytime soon. Okay, this section's upsetting me. I get it, puppies are very energetic. They are. My extended family got a puppy, not even recently, but it still has that puppy energy, you know? And I can't keep up with it. I can't. Sadly, the other puppies died. That's so sad. I'm so sorry. Yeah, puppies sometimes get sick. Pepe, the cat that I have, he was very, very sick when we got him. And and by we, I mean like mostly my dad, had to like bottle feed him and like take care of him a lot. It was really sad. I cried so much when Koro-sensei's sister died. Yeah, I'd imagine so. That's really hard. We were really worried about losing Pepe when we got him because he was so tiny and he was so baby. We think we adopted him before he was old enough to be adopted, just based on his like mannerisms. And so it was very lucky that he lived past his baby stage. Because he also had a really bad upper respiratory infection when we got him. And so it was like touch and go. He had to like live at the vets for a little while. If I ever get a dog, unlikely, but you never know one day, it'll probably be a Chihuahua. While I still live with my parents, we dog sat for a friend of my mom. It was the most chill dog ever. Really, a Chihuahua. I would not imagine a Chihuahua to be the most chill dog, but you never know. Damn, I'm happy that Pepe is okay now. Me too. It was 9 years ago when we adopted him, but it was still really scary. He'd sleep on my shoulders while I played. Wow. Aw. He just on the shoulders while you play video games. It's so chill. It was so sad about the other puppies. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I'm sorry for your loss of the other puppies. That's cute. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I don't know. I love animals. And someday I'm going to have so many animals, but only when I can afford them and give them enough space in a living situation where I feel like they're comfortable. Except for my fish. The fish just needs a tank and some food, and he's happy as a clam. I bought him things to play with, and then he just wants the water filter. I bought him things because he wanted the water filter. I was like, oh, he probably wants something to hide in. I'll buy him something to hide in. No, he just wanted to sit behind the water filter. I'm like, dude, you're staring at a wall. This is not enriching. I don't know. Fish are funny. Especially Sheena. Animals are too much. I love them. I'm way so glad to hear that you're one of the good pet owners. Way too many people get pets they can't care for properly. Yeah. It's really upsetting to see people who either have to return pets or like didn't know what they were getting into. I want to adopt, but I want to adopt when it's responsible to do so. And so like for now, I'll just look at a bunch of videos of cats and kittens and ferrets on Instagram. And eventually I'll be taking my own videos, but that day is not yet. So that's okay. It's okay. I wish they had lived because Koro-sensei would have played with his sister a lot. Yeah. I love my dogs to death. I love dogs so much. Yeah. That's so cute. Hopefully, Koro-sensei is able to get a sibling, even if it's not biologically a sibling, sometime soon. My cats, we call them like brother and sister. We got Pepe and Pixie around the same time. I think they were like a month or two apart, but they weren't biologically the same family. And so they had to like get to know each other basically when we adopted them, because we adopted them both actually from different agencies, totally different places that they came from. I bet Shintaro, I feel the same way about my cat, and I'd no joke kill for this little guy. Yeah, fiercely protective over animals, fiercely protective over animals. And it's so easy to be when they're so loving and like just all about you. I love my animals, man. He plays with my mother's dog, Woody. He's kind of Koro-sensei's brother. Okay, well that makes sense. That's cute. Yeah, Toby is much older than Pixie and Pepe, and Pepe still plays with Toby. Pixie's more of a play on her own kind of girl. Same, I love animals so much. I know, they're so good. Yeah. My cats, and this might be something you've experienced, Miki. My cats love to meow and scream for food. And I don't mean like, meow. Well, I do, but it's like they wait for you to go near where we keep their food, and then they look up at you with those big eyes. Meow. You're gonna feed me, right? As if they didn't get fed last night. As if it's not the morning the next day. They're too much. Same, I love animals so much. That's so cute. So nice your puppy has a big brother to play with. Exactly. Yeah, I think that there's nothing wrong with adopting siblings from other families. As long as you integrate them responsibly, then there shouldn't be any problems. And then it's good because then the pet can have a friend. Sadly, Woody's owner passed away. Aww. I know what you're talking about, but I trained that behavior out of Echo from the moment I got him. Okay. I love it. I think it's adorable. I love to like make fun of them for it, but at the same time, it's like really cute. It's mainly one cat that does it, and I think that it's Pepe. Pepe is the one that does it the most, and we think that he probably had some like trauma when he was a kitten. Regarding like not being able to get food or like not like we just think he has some trauma based on like some of his responses to things. But he is such a long cat and he likes to stretch and reach up for the doorknob to the door to like the pantry and like look back at us and talk to us and tell us that it's time to eat. And it's really cute to me. I think that there's nothing wrong with training it out. It's just that we never did. Woody's owner was my mother. I miss her so much. Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope that you're doing okay after that loss. Hopefully it wasn't too recent. It's cute, but I rent a basement apartment, and if it really does, and all it really does is if you allow them meowing for food is to teach them that when they want to get what they want is just to make noise until you give in. Okay, so my cats, that's not necessarily true for my cats. They all meow for different things and different reasons, and we don't always give into it. And so I think it's not so much a trained behavior to like meow for food and we'll automatically give it. It's more just like they think that they're talking to us and they'll have conversations with us. And then if we don't give them treats, then they leave it. It's only really if we go near the pantry and they're hungry that they'll meow. And so I think it's more of like a reminder thing and they're worried that we'll forget about them. Your kittens seem so cute. Yeah, I love them. They're my children. They're my babies. She died 6 years ago. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm going to do the pants in the same color as this. Not the eraser. There's always exceptions to the rule. Exactly. Cats are different too. Exactly. They all have totally different personalities and totally different ways that they decide they want to cope with the world and like interact with you. And I think that, I don't know, my cats just learned if we're near the food and they're hungry, then they need to tell us because otherwise they're not going to get anything except in the mornings when we normally feed them. But it's mostly for treats. Mostly for treats that they'll be like, you've forgotten something. You've forgotten something. When in reality, you know, they gotta ask for treats. It's okay, my life has been a little better now, thankfully. I'm glad to hear that. Gotcha. Yeah, I think every cat is different. Every cat owner is different. Every, like, environment is different. And so I think cats respond differently to different ways of, like, learning or, like, treatment. And so for us, it's just a little different, I guess. And I think that's fine. But I love my cats. And I wish I could steal them and bring them to college. But I can't. And I don't know how to cope with that because I want to steal them and bring them to college. My parents would never let me. They'd miss them too much. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear about your loss. I get what you're saying. Yeah, exactly. I just keep my cat's bowl full all day. I'm fortunate to have a cat with self-control. He'll stop eating when he's full. A lot of fixed cats won't stop. Yeah, we have dry food in my cat's bowl all the time. And then they get wet food in the morning and treats at night usually. He gets wet food in the morning and evening though. Yeah, I am gonna be right back. So just hold on for 1 second. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Just had to check up on something. Yeah, our cats get wet food in the morning and usually sometimes treats in the afternoon. It differs on like what treats they get based on like who's feeding them or who's around to want treats. But they always have dry food and they always have water and they only eat when they're hungry. So it's more of like I would like a treat, please, than I would like to eat food, please. It's just that the black cat, again, has some trauma around food, and so he acts like he has never seen food in his entire life every morning, when in reality, he sees food every day. There's still food in his bowl. Welcome. Oh, no worries. Bad jokes always accepted. This just takes so many layers. This is not getting done today, by the way. I hope that's not the hope here, because it's not getting done today. I see your little interaction about that bad joke. My fish, though, my fish gets fed once a day, because they're not supposed to eat as much as you think they're supposed to eat. You sound like a great dog owner too. I agree. You both sound like very responsible pet owners, and I think that's a good trait to have. That's a good thing to be. Oh no, it's not blending how I want it to blend. No. Oh. Nope. Try it again. When in doubt, Control Z. Control Z and try again. Yeah, I won't trust someone who treats animals poorly for anything. Exactly. Unless they're spiders, in which case, please just get them away from me. Don't like spiders. I don't like bugs very much. I won't kill them, but that's mainly because I don't want to go near them. It's an irrational fear, and I know that, but bugs and I do not get along well. It was actually a conversation when my friends and I were deciding to move into this apartment. It's like, who is going to take care of the bugs? Because it's not going to be me. Luckily, one of them actually doesn't mind. Spiders are hellspawn? Exactly. Spiders are hellspawn, and I don't know if you've ever seen these things that we call them thousand-leggers, but they're basically like a very small bug with like 1,000 legs. I don't know if it's actually 1,000. And they move like lightning quick, and they are horrifying, and they will do nothing to hurt me. They will do me no harm. And I know this, and they terrify me because they move so fast. I've seen one crawl up the wall right here in the middle of the night. Awful. Terrifying. Terrifying experience. I was done studying that night. I saw that, I was like, this is my sign to quit. Yeah, exactly. No, 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 no. I was so over it. Yeah, it was horrifying. I like ran. I was like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm not good with bugs. I hate insects. Yeah. Not all of them scare me, but sometimes just the way that they like crawl. Oh. If I see that in my apartment, I'd move. So true. Except I can't move. This is not my house. This is my parents' house. Or that was my parents' house, rather, where that happened. So I couldn't move. I was very fortunate that my dorm actually didn't have any bug issues. I think I would have had a conniption. I'm hoping that our apartment doesn't have any bug issues. I will not do well if our apartment has bug issues. We actually recently, I don't know how you are with mice, but we had a mice problem, a mouse problem, like last week here in this house. My brother and I had been hearing squeaking in the walls, or scratching rather. We heard scratching in the walls. And I said, that's not right. That's not usually how walls sound. My brother texted me and he was like, do you hear that? And I was like, yes. But then we didn't do anything about it. And a few days pass and the scratching turns to squeaking. And lo and behold, my parents cut open the wall. And what do they find but 5 baby mice in the wall? What? I was horrifying. What do you even do? They just took them outside, basically. Have you guys seen the arachnophobia mode for Hogwarts Legacy? I would not be able to play without it. So true. I have seen it. It's actually really funny how they've decided to handle it. Mice are so cute, though. Mice are so cute, except when you find them in the walls of the house. They're a lot less cute then. We have cute pictures of them, but it was not cute when they were terrorizing and scratching and I was worried I was on my head. It was not fun. But then the cats were like, there's something in the wall. And my parents were like, I guess there's something in the wall. And my brother and I were like, we told you this. Told you that. One of the mice was not alive. The other 4 were alive, which was good because then they were able to release the remaining 4 mice. I guess they released all 5. It's just that one of them was less of a release and more of a grave. Yeah, that's true. Exactly. Mice are great when they're not in the walls. It was not fun. Here's a picture of Woody. He's 9 years old. Aww. So cute. So cute. Have you ever seen hooded rats? They're adorable. My friend had one as a pet once. He'd hang out with us the second we got to his house and stick to us like glue. No, I haven't seen them, but that sounds really cute. Animals are so good. See, like mice that people have as pets, not a problem. Mice that I see outside in the wilderness, not a problem. Mice when all I hear is just a problem. That's an issue. I thought I was going insane. He'd either get on your shoulder or hang out in your hoodie pockets. That's so cute. All right, I'm going to do one more pass of this, and I think we're going to do a little bit of a just chatting moment for a few minutes, and then I'll have to go relatively soon, unfortunately. Yeah, when the walls start making scratching noises, that freaks me out too. Exactly. And it was scratching noises from the same spot. And so we knew it wasn't like moving. They had like fallen into like a pit and they were trapped. And there was no mother. It was just the babies. And so it was like several days because my brother and I both noticed them on like a Friday and we didn't get them out of the wall until like a Monday. So it was pretty crazy. But it was this room. You can't, actually, can you see it? You can see it. If you look right there, you can see a little dent at the top, a little black part. Actually, this is easier if we just switch over to talking. If you look right there, this is where they were. Not it for me, fam. That was not it for me. Woody runs to a wall sometimes and my mother's probably watching over him. Aw, I'm sure. Yeah. At my father's house, I thought we had rats/mice, but it turns out it was just magpies using the roof conveniently above my room as a slide, and then hop back up and slide back down for hours. No! Oh my God, the dedication. But yeah, they were in this room, like right there, and it was not it for me, because it was just all you heard was scratching, and then the Monday I heard squeaking, and I was like, I'm making this up in my head. And we found them, and they were squeaking. They were squeaking little mice. I don't blame you. Yeah, it drove me nuts. I'm sure it did, but also that's really funny. I won't lie to you. It's 50 part, half a part, really annoying, and half a part really funny. Can you hear my stomach growling? I'm hungry. Drove me nuts. Damn. Oof, I'd freak out so bad. Yeah. I actually wasn't too freaked out. It was more just like frustrating. Cause like I'd put on headphones and I'd still hear it. And I'm like, they're loud and they're annoying and they're frustrating me. But that was the story of the mice. That was the story of the mice. I was taking care of the cats when they got them out, but I did see pictures of the mice and they were tiny. They were babies. We think that they learned to squeak on that day that they started squeaking. So that was a little yikes. That was a little yikes. It's the unknown part for me. It gives me the creeps. Yeah, we had no idea what was in the wall, especially at first. When all it is scratching and we heard it was like coming from this one area, we had no idea what it was. And so it really was a question of like, what is it at first? Woody is happier now because he plays with Koro-sensei a lot. Yes, exactly. It's really good that they get to play together with each other. That's really exciting. Also, I have a crippling fear of the ocean if I can't see the bottom sand. Oh, I understand. I don't have that problem, but I've learned to swim and like been taught water's not like an enemy or whatever since a very young age. So I never developed that fear in specific, but I completely understand, especially when you think about just how deep the ocean goes, that we haven't even like explored it all. That's crazy. That's crazy. I agree, that makes me happy when Woody is playing with Koro-sensei. Exactly. With that being said, I think I'm gonna have to head out right about now. Thank you so much for watching if you've been watching live. If you have been watching the VOD, thank you very much for making it all the way through or just skipping to the end. Both work. If you have been enjoying the stream or you have been enjoying the VOD, feel free to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and if you do subscribe, make sure to press the little bell icon so that you are able to get notifications when I go live so that you can catch a stream and talk and chat with us. All right, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I hope to see you all again really soon. All right, thank you so much.